Yes, apparently I'm on alive. Absolutely. What a joy to truly be with you today, and what a joy to get to share with you our little journey. Well, it's been what 60 days or more than that. So I thought, as a family, that I should come here and give you the best update that I know. Also, you can ask me any question you want. So today is really about Bella, who's not with us. But I am here to truly share with you today. So it's really been a joy to be with you. And what? The weather is getting better here in North Carolina, and it's really been a joy. Hopefully, wherever you were as well, the weather is much better than what it's here. I love the winter. Why? I don't know, for some reason. I love cold season than warm season. So today I'm really, really excited to be with you all. I don't know if you can see me. Are you there? I can see Alir. Can you see me? Oh yes. How are you, Janet? You're one of my favorite people on the planet that I get to see you always with us. So it's really a joy to be with you. So it's what? It's Saturday here in North Carolina, and my kids. Where are my kids? My kids, they went with the babysitter. Sometimes I just need a little time by myself. So they are with the babysitter somewhere. And then Zay is upstairs doing something. And where's Anthony? Anthony just went to work right now. So it's just me alone. And I thought I can have just time with you, to be with you, and to share a little bit of what is going on. Wow, lots of hey Laura, hey Mary, hey Marilyn, Sharon, how are you? Kansas. Wow, I like this. Kimberly, good to see you. Always a joy. Alia, you're from England. Wow, what time is it there? I'm sure it's Alia. Hey, Alice, Georgia, in Jamaica, Diane, in Indiana. Truly a joy to have you all. Debbie, oh my goodness. Tricia, Ashton, some names I can't pronounce them, so I'm not gonna butcher them, but I'm just gonna just hold on. But truly a joy to be with you. Well, it's 3 p.m. here, and I wonder what time it is for you over there. 8 p.m. Not too late. Caroline, Sweden, nice to see you. Always a joy to see you. Nicole, London. Yeah, how is it there? I used to live in London. I went to school in London. I lived there for 5 years. Yep. So I know that place quite really well. Really, really well. Grace, oh my goodness. Wanda, Nicole, good to see you. So I'm going to give you a little update of what's going on. Your family, and I always want to keep you in the loop on why it's taking so long for Bella to get back to us. First of all, she went, or she was taken away, as you all know, because of Anthony's background and Zay's background. But we thought it would just be a week, but boy, it's taken forever. As I speak now, we have absolutely, absolutely no idea when she'll be back to us. So here's what happens. As a first parent, when you have 18, if your children turn 18, you have to do a background check. So we did all the paperwork. So we submitted all the paperwork, but somehow it's taking forever. We have received the background check for Anthony. Why? Because Anthony has lived in North Carolina most of his life. Well, not Zay. For Zay, he lived with his girlfriend in Florida, and then he moved to see his mom in Kansas City and lived there for 6 months or 8 months. So wherever you've lived more than 3 months, they have to do a background check. So that's why it took us long. That we had to send the background check to Florida, Kansas, and North Carolina for Zay. But we didn't know it would take this long. And as you know, the policies as well as the systems, especially government bureaucracies, they take forever. I mean, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And that has really been hard for me as a parent, because no one gives you an update of what's going on, but also there's nothing we can do. We can't call Florida and say, hey, where is that, because they're all in different departments. And wherever they send them, we have no clue. The other part why I'm kind of really helpless is all that process is done by my private agency. It's not me doing it. So I have to give them all the paperwork and they're the ones who have to file all that. So it's not like I can call or be involved. As you know, most post parents, we take care of the children, but when it comes to bureaucracy, no one considers us as important people, that we have to follow the protocol, but at the same time, the agency has to do all that work. So that's why I have no answer at all. You wake up in the morning and you hope they will give you a phone call, and that hasn't happened at all. We don't know why they've taken so long, but also we don't know what's going on. But also, you also know that we had a hurricane, so the what do I say this? The agency or the government agency that takes care of all foster care system is based in Black Mountain. So the place what was affected by the hurricane is where the offices that do all the paperwork for foster parents to have all the paperwork or to be licensed. Literally, they lost some of their staff, and the office shut down. So there's nothing really that can happen. So in that case, we're just waiting and waiting to see what could be done so we can have Bella back. Fose, I think they have all the documents. We have all the documents. But as I said, because of the hurricane that happened last week or this week, and then the one that happened previously has kind of put everything in hold. So that's why we're kind of waiting. I don't know when, how we will have Bella back. But here's the cool thing. We've been able to see her so she goes to daycare that is close by our daycare, the daycare that I chose. So that means I can see her every day. Anytime I want, I can see her, but she cannot stay for the night. So most time we go get her for lunch, or I get to pick her up where she is and bring her to daycare, or pick her up and take her back. And that has been really helpful on good and bad at the same time. So here's what is caused most trouble. For her, she loves us and she knows we are kind of family. This is where she belongs. So every time we see her, she thinks, oh, you're coming to get me. I don't have to go back to these people, you know. But in that sense, it's really causing a lot of trauma for her because every time we see her, we have to say goodbye. So those are a lot of tears, but also heartbreak for us as well that we have no answer. She's 3. She does not understand. So what we've done is to lesson on how often we see her, so we are not causing that trauma over and over and over again. Every time we say goodbye, she's wondering why do you have to leave me, why do you have to put me to these people, so that's really been difficult, but also difficult for my kids as well, because they want to see their sister every day, and they keep asking, when is she coming back, can she stay, and I have to keep saying no, she cannot. And so, there's those problems. Yes, we love her, we get to see her, but at the same time, the ins and outs affects my children in house, but also affects her as well. So we're trying to find ways, the middle ground, where we don't have to really put her in that place, where she feels deserted, unwanted, and also the time like, why do I have to be with these people? They're not bad people. They care for her for sure. But I think for her, it's as she knows as family, and she does not understand why, which is rightly so. She's little. She thinks, why do I have to be left out? Or why do you have to drop me and go and not come back? So we're trying to truly limit that in the shortest time possible. So rather than see her every day, we are trying to see her maybe twice a week. The kids get to see her once, I get to see her twice. So in that way, it really it changes, or it helps her to not feel those emotions, the crying, the why. And for my kids as well, every time we say goodbye, they cry, and for her, she cries as well. So it's been really difficult to handle, that we love her very much. Like, we care for her in every way, shape, form. And we've done everything possible to make sure that she's okay. But at the same time, I have to follow the guidelines of the state, but as a foster parent and as a dad, it's really hard on me, um, to see her every week, and we have to say goodbye. And she has to cry and say, why am I going back? And we have to explain that we love you, we'll get you, you'll get you. But it's getting really, really, really difficult in some way. So, oh, I love to force them, and I love taking care of the children. But boy, the system, the way it works, the rules and the things that they have that has no emotional, can be really difficult, and it takes toll on us as foster parents. So it's been really hard, but we hope that we get to see her And we hope that we're gonna have her back soon. We've waited, we've done all that we can, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait because that's what she is about. She's our family and we care for her. Mm. I wasn't coming. I promised myself that I wasn't gonna cry, but I thought that I wanted to give you the update of what's going on uh, and the hard journey of fostering. When things, it's crazy that their paperwork or their policies come first before the human side of it. And that's why we lose most foster parents, and that's why sometimes our kids get a lot of trauma because of the paperwork that has no human. For them, they look at a file, they don't look at, well, but how does that affect the child, or how does that affect the family that take care of the child? That zero, like zero, they don't consider that in any way, shape, form. And that's the hard part. So truly, we appreciate you, and and we are grateful. We are hoping that maybe next week, that all the paperwork will be in, and then we'll be able to have her the week after. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're praying for. That's what we want. And it's really been tough. But thank you so much for being there for us. Thank you for understanding. And thank you for all. My kids truly appreciate, and especially for me. For me as a single parent, having people that ask, when is Bella coming? To me, I know you care, but I also thought I needed to give you the update of on how and why. So let me read some of your comments and see what you wanted to say. Background check should not take. Yep, exactly. And I don't know why. I don't know why they're taking so long. They should not. Seriously, for the sake of the child, they should not take that long. I agree with you. Yeah, she'll be traumatized for like, and that's kind of the trauma we tell you or we share with you about our children. Think about, all my kids have lived in more than, some have lived in more than 12 homes before they came to me. Think about, like, you go to home and they move you to another, and then how do you trust people? Or how do you really see that people care for you when people have to, in some way, toss you from home to home? It's not our fault. Absolutely not our fault. But at the same time, it really, really affects most of our foster kids. If they feel unwanted, they feel not worthy, and they feel, why do adults do this to me? And so it's a common thing for our foster kids of what they go through. And I thought I could share that with you. Well, thank you. Yeah, my heart breaks as well. Thank you. Praying hard, absolutely. Yeah. So if you have any question, you can ask me as well. The parents give a 50 other too wide, not allow Bella to be. I know. Look, we love her parents. Trust me, we love her parents, and I know them. I get to see them often. For me, the joy is, if she could go back home, that would be the greatest thing that we could give her. And if that's not the case, we want to be her forever family. But for now, as I've shared with you before, foster care is about reunification. It's about doing everything we can to make sure the kids go back to mom and dad. For now, that's the goal, and that's why I'm mad that we don't want her to be moving from one end to the other. We want her to be stable and be in one home. So when that time comes to go back home, then she can go back. And if that's not the case, we want her to be stable. We want her to be in a place where she's loved. I'm not saying she's not loved where she is, but stable and permanency is really important for most of our kids. When they feel in the middle of the road, when they feel, where do I belong? Do I belong here? Do I belong here? And then when you put in other families, okay, now I have to move here and there. That really causes a lot of trauma for her kids. So thank you for your prayers. Again, my joy is to go back home. And if that's not the case, I want to be forever family. But for now, the whole goal is for her to go back home. Yes, it's taking so long. Yes, it's hard, but it's the best thing we can do. That's what I signed up for, to be a foster parent, meaning I'm just a temporary parent, either for 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, wherever it takes, that I truly want to be there for the kids, that they can be there for them. And let me tell you the reason why I really, really, really do all the best I can for the kids to go back home. When I was a street kid, I would hear people saying, well, what mother will let their kids be on the streets? But no one understood what my mom went through. The same abuse I had to face at home are the same abuse my mom had to go through. So when you're in it, it's easy to really understand why most parents lose their kids. It's not. No mom gives their birth, no mother gives birth to a child so they can go to full scale. Sometimes along the way things go wrong, but it doesn't mean they have to go wrong all the time. We can correct them by coming alongside these parents and help them. And that's the greatest gift we can give to that mom, to that dad, and to this little one. And as I said, it's easy to judge, or it's easy to see them as villains. They are not villains. They're just moms struggling along the way. And that's my joy, that I get to be there for all, help them and see the best I can do so they can go back home. For now, that's the goal. About when that happens, I don't know. But your family, so I'll keep you updated. I promise. I'll keep you updated if anything changes. I promise. I'll keep you updated. Yeah, someone asked. And also for adoption, here's the other part. When adoption comes, or even if that happens, they have to go look for the next of kin. They have to look for, uncles and aunties and grandparents who can adopt her before they can consider me. Is that crazy? Sometimes I'm like, well, I've had this little one for 2 years. Where are they? But the way the system works is that before they could consider me, they will have to go look for distant relatives in case there's someone who can adopt her before I'm considered as the adoptive parent. Isn't that crazy? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And that's the joy of having you here. So I can educate you and show you. And that's why, for me, it's important to just stay on the line. I am a foster parent. This kid is going back home. Until that, even if, even if they terminate the parental rights today, I have no right to adopt her. As I said, because they have to go to the distant relatives before I can be considered as the adoptive parent. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you heard me. So anyway, let me read some of your comments. Laugh, 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 laugh. Laugh out another day. Yes. But are you Peter's youngest adopted children, biological sibling? Yes, that I can disclose it. Absolutely. They are all related. The two I've adopted, including Bella, are siblings. And that's why I took her in. Or else I would not have, because I don't think I was equipped to take in toddlers. I was like, toddlers? No, no, no. But once I knew she was a sibling, that's why I took her in. So she is the sibling. That I'm gonna disclose it in any way, shape, form I can. If I get in trouble, you get in trouble too. Yes, you better. You are her dad. Yes, I'm her dad. Either she's with me or she goes back home. Yes, I'm her dad. And I'm a joy. And that's the why. Here's why it's important for me. Even if she goes back home, she will have known her siblings as well. And that would keep us also connected to them as well, because they will have had whatever many years we have with her, that she had her sisters, and we can keep those connections alive. In other words, we can take her, we can bring her for Christmas, we can enjoy her birthdays, and we can keep that relationship. So that's why, for me, it's important for sure that I do everything I can, both ways. Going back home, we still have that connection that we built for these years. If she stays with us, the parents still have the connection with us because we've known them and come alongside. You see, it's all about the children. If it was about me, trust me, I would do things differently. But it's about the child. When you think about the child, you think about what can we do that best helps the child, rather than me, the parent, but about the children. If going home is the only way that can help her not get traumatized, but also deal with her trauma, well, that is the good thing. If she stays with us, but we stay with the parents and we have that relationship, that means we keep connected to all my kids. They have mom and dad that they know, though they are not with them, but that connection stays as well. So you see, it's all about the children. If it was about me, things would go a different way. But it's all about the children. And that's why I keep focused about them going back home. It's a win-win. It's always a win-win. I can tell you. I've had 44 kids, but I think I'm in touch with about 36 of them. And I'm in touch with their parents as well, because I needed to know their parents. I needed to come alongside them as well. And that has kept the relationship better. And I get to see them, I get to call on them, and they get to call on me. And when there are amazing things to celebrate, we get to celebrate together. Why? Because I built that relationship between me and their parents. So it's always about the child. Anything else goes around, goes around, goes around. All right, where are we? Oh, well, thank you for watching that channel. Watch those commercials sometimes, even for 5 seconds. It gives me a penny, okay? So I can give a lot of milk for my kids. Wait, so Rocky related to Bella as well? Rocky, no, Rocky is not. Rocky went to be with his grandparents in Wisconsin. We get to see him and we get to hear from him. He's now almost 6. He's almost 6. Grown up, grown up in grade 2. Who's Rocky? Yes. He's a little 3-year old we had before, and she went back. Again, she went to be with the next of kin, and the next of kin was grandma from the mom's side that took him in, which is cool and which is nice and which is really keeps families together. My breaks for you and the kids. It is admirable. Anthony's story about yes. I can tell you, foster is really, really, really hard. We don't get to expose and tell you all the things that goes around there, but it's a mess, truly a mess. And it's really hard for us as foster parents because we are never considered in the decision making of the child. I am the one who takes care of the child 99.9 of the time, but when it comes to making decision for the child, I'm never considered to put any input. I can never go to court. Well, I can go to court, but I can sit, but I can never say anything. Only the social worker can advocate for the child, guardian of lighten, or CASA. Otherwise, there's nothing else I can do. I can never say, hey, I know what's going on. Absolutely no. So that is the difficulty of parenting. I get to know the child 99.9999 of the time. I get to know when they're sick, I take them to the hospital. I am their dad in and out. But when it comes to the decision making with the state, I'm not considered to be part of that decision making, right? Crazy. So that's why we lose sometimes most of our false parents because they feel, you get to parent, but yet your hands are tied. There's nothing you can do. Literally, I was in court when 2 months ago, I was sitting there and I could hear them say things that are left and right. I'm like, I wish someone could ask me, because I know the child, but also I know the parents that I'm able to say what most people would not be able to. But listen, I am just a nobody, so there's nothing I could ever say. The judge could never say, hey, Peter, can you say anything? Nope. No. They don't even recognize us as parents. And that's the hard part of being a foster parent. So had they asked me or given me other options to take in the child, I would have given them. I would have said, hey, can I take my teenagers to live somewhere for a little time so that she can stay? She doesn't have to live. Oh no, that they didn't ask me. Or could I find another alternative ways on how I can make this speed up maybe on my end? Oh no, no. Their solution, their answer, their decision. And all I have to say is, yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. So here's what I don't want to scare you for. Most people hear about the system and they're like, I can't deal with them. But remember, there's a child on the other end. And that's for me what I advocate for. The kid on the other side matters more than anything else. Yes, the system is crude. Yes, it's the worst place you could think of. Yes, I don't like it and I hate the system. But on the other end, there's a human, tiny little baby or little child or teenager on the other end that if I focus on the system, I fail to advocate for them or I fail to be there for them. So we all live in systems that are difficult, but we don't walk away from that. And that's for me why I want to share with you that there's a human end on the other end. Yes, I don't like the system, but there's a kid on the other end that I cannot give up for, or I can walk away from. No, that in every country we live in every society we are in, systems suck. And systems sometimes don't care for us. But in the false care system, well, behind those files they're asking for, behind those backgrounds they're asking for, well, there's a kid on the other side. And that's where I focus. And that's why I don't go insane because I focus on the child. What can I do for the child while the system screws over here? What can I do? And stay focused. Otherwise, I would have quit long time ago. I promise you. I would have quit if I was to listen to the system or even follow the things they do that are driving me crazy. But there's a human end at the end of it that I don't want to make a file or don't want to make into a system, but to be there for that child. Yes, she'll be back. uh, well, most of the things you're asking me, I can't really disclose those. All I can disclose is their siblings, and because I'm required to protect my children's privacy. But they're siblings. Either they are not biological or they are just siblings. Full stop. Peter, you asked. Oh, thank you, thank you so much. Um, yes, and two, remember the other part I want to share is the social worker have to follow the protocol, or they lose their jobs, or they get in trouble. So for them, they have to literally come up with a program. What does the state requires to? If Peter is not fulfilling one, okay, he's in trouble. They don't look at the human side of it. Like, wait a minute, we could give him another week, or we don't want to really move this child from one end to the other because of the trauma we get. They don't think of those. They just think, hey, you know, background is not yet in. Okay, child out. They don't really think about how long, how will it affect the child? Where is the child gonna go? No, they don't. None of that. None of that. And even now, had I call literally every 2 days. Where is any background? Most time they won't call you. They won't tell you anything at all. But it's me who has to keep saying, how far? How long can I wait? How far? But otherwise, they don't tell you a thing. And that's the hard part of forced care. So anyway, I thought I could share that. As I said, maybe give us 1 week to 2 weeks. Maybe she'll be here because they have all the paperwork. They also have all the background check. But as I said, this whole can kind of destroyed and some offices aren't functioning at the moment. So hopefully I'll keep you updated. So thank you for enjoying this Saturday with me. I truly love you all. Charlie, yeah, we're so sorry. Yes, I know it's happened, and it's just not me. It's something that happens every day to other foster parents. So we truly, truly appreciate you. Janet, I miss hearing Bella. Yes, me too. But I get to see her twice a week, which is cool. Sunday, okay, you have to a bit more patience. Yes, I have to be. In force care, you have to learn two things: patience, patience, and then patience plus patience. It's the medicine, it's the joy. When you have patience, you'll survive. Without patience, it's impossible, possible to do what we do. Foster children have so much trauma, only to be traumatized by the state. Yes, and it's true. It's really true that some of our kids, the worst trauma they get is when they're in the system, not when they're at home, when they are in the system. You might think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. They get more traumatized in the system, and that's really hard. We have social workers that come to see Bella, but my kids get scared every time they see the social worker. They're like, oh no, are we being taken? That's how bad things get too, because the kids just, I don't know, it affects them in every way, shape, form, and it's really sad. So think about, then you have to move from one home to other. Oof, that's even hard. Oh yeah, come Belle, I got a coffee. Yes. Yeah, that would help me for coffee. Thank you for your kindness. I truly appreciate. The boys get an apartment so she can come. Yeah. So someone asked, Sanita, big boys get an appointment so she can get back home. Once the paper has started, there's nothing we can do. Once she's taken, she cannot come back until those paperwork are done. I've suggested that, like, hey, I can kick the boys out. Can we? But they're like, they're your kids. We want to make sure next time they come back, the paperwork are done. I'm like, oh, but just for now, can I put them somewhere, with a friend so they can stay there? They still said, nope, no. We tried that. We really tried that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Yes, the truth is all I can say. And yeah, and there's honesty and being mad, So you're getting the combination of all mad and honesty. That's I'm being honest. That's forced care. It's for the faint heart. It's really a calling. Like if you're not um uh yes, it's really a calling, that requires a lot, and trauma for me as a parent as well. Like, it's not just to the kids, but to me as well. You have no idea. Like, every time we get her, we have to take her to the other family, and she gets to cry and say, "Dad, why?" And for me, it takes me days and hours to really get back to my senses. Remember, I have to go through that. And then I have to be a parent at the same time. So you're dealing with all sorts of things left and right. And that's really, really difficult to deal as a parent when you love your kids. You want to be the best parents you can be. And you have to hold it together. You have to be there for your kids that they don't see you falling down, because that worries them that, oh no, is something bad gonna happen to us? So it doesn't just affect the children, but for us as parents as well. That you have to balance your emotions, and you have to balance how you feel, and you don't want to show it to the kids, because that puts them in the wrong place as well. You don't want them to worry or be triggered. Remember, our kids have been taken over and over and over, and the sight or the slight um, thing that can trigger that, it puts them in the wrong place. So uh, that's false care for you. So mm, I apologize. Your family, so I can just be me. There's nothing to hold, and to be vulnerable, and to show you the things that we get to deal with. When we close that door, or when you're not seeing us, that this is what we deal with, and it's really a joy. So um so I really appreciate you all, for your kindness, and for your prayers, and being there for us. So thank you for the hugs. I truly, truly appreciate that. And being a foster parent is hard. Yeah, all these children need to be loved. Absolutely, they need to be loved. And so anyway, so I gotta let you go. So I'm gonna walk my dogs. It's a way I take my little, get my little me and fill my cup in some way. But I truly appreciate for you. But again, I'll keep you updated. I'm hoping maybe in the next 2 weeks, she'll be back with us. And that's all I can say. So um, we love you so much, and we appreciate you so much. And so thank you for being there with me on a Saturday, and blessing to you. Stay warm, and have a wonderful weekend. Sending you lots of love. Yes, I'm being strong, and I truly appreciate you. Blessings to each one of you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Blessings. Bye.